Thomas, Newt, and Frypan are the last of the free Gladers, immune to the flare virus that has ravaged the world's population. Them and the Right Arm Resistance conduct a rescue operation where they retrieve other immunes from a train, which is owned by WCKD, also pronounced Wicked, an organization responsible for capturing and experimenting on immune children. They discover that Minnow, the remaining Glader friend whom Wicked had captured, was not on that train, which is headed to the Last City, Wicked's base of operations. Against the orders of Vince, leader of the Right Arm, the three leave their camp to rescue Minnow, who is being tortured by Wicked in hopes of developing a cure for the virus. Heading for the Last City, the group is attacked by Cranks, humans infected with the flare. However, they are saved by Jorge and Brenda, who join them. The group makes it to the wall of the Last City, which protects the city from Cranks. Outside the wall, people are rallying in protest to be let into the city. When Wicked opens fire at the protesters, the group is captured by a contingent of masked men and are taken to a hideout. One of the masked men is revealed to be Gally, who survived Minnow's attack. Gally takes them to see Lawrence, a rebellion leader for those outside the walls, who helps them enter the Last City through a secret entrance. Gally leads Thomas and Newt through to the city, and spotting Teresa, Gally tells Thomas that he can get them into Wicked headquarters. Newt then confides to Thomas that he is infected. Promising to cure him, the three capture Teresa. Thomas, Newt, and Gally escort Teresa inside Wicked headquarters and toward the location of the immunes. Gally looks after the immune children and stays to find a serum that slows the flare, while Thomas, Newt, and Teresa go to find Minnow. They are discovered and chased by Jansen. Teresa lets them escape to find Minnow before rushing to do a blood test on Thomas's blood, which she obtained when removing trackers from the Gladers. Having delivered the immune children and the serum to Brenda, Gally returns to Wicked headquarters to find Thomas. Brenda is forced to flee with the immune children to avoid capture. Thomas and Newt reunite with Minnow in the medical wing. Teresa discovers that Thomas's blood can cure the flare. She shares her discovery with Wicked's leader Ava Page, both agreeing that they must find Thomas. Brenda and the immune children escape Wicked with Frypan's help. Meanwhile, Lawrence rallies his rebels outside the city before blowing a hole in the city wall, sacrificing himself to allow his allies and the affected people to storm the city. Gally finds Thomas, Minnow, and Newt. Newt, sending Minnow and Gally ahead to get the serum from Brenda, gives Thomas a pendant before passing out. Teresa transmits her voice throughout the city, telling Thomas that his blood can save Newt if he will only return to Wicked. Newt, nearly consumed by the flare, regains consciousness and attacks Thomas while begging Thomas to kill him. When Thomas will not, Newt, left with no other options, stabs himself. Thomas makes his way back to Wicked and confronts Ava. However, she is killed by Jansen, who is infected by the flare. Jansen knocks Thomas out and drags him to a lab where Teresa is ready to extract his blood. However, he reveals that he is only truly interested in curing himself and others that he feels are worthy, which results in Teresa turning on him. After a fight, Jansen is killed, allowing Thomas and Teresa to escape to the rooftop, where Teresa gives Thomas a vial with the cure. Their allies suddenly appear in an aircraft. Thomas makes it aboard, but Teresa dies when the headquarters collapses on itself. The group reunites with the rest of the immunes and the Right Arm, escaping to a safe haven, where the remaining population can live in safety. There, Thomas discovers that the pendant Newt gave him had a note in it. Still traumatized by his friends' deaths, he reads the note, in which Newt tells him to look after everyone.